Welcome to Beyond Sunday from Schweitzer Church. I'm Jason Leininger, and in studio today, we've got Carter Worth and Nora Rowlett, two young people from Schweitzer who've had a great summer. Now they're back in school. But one of the things we're going to talk about today is Camp Barnabas. Camp Barnabas is a camp that Schweitzer students have been going to the last several years. So we want to hear more about their experience. One of you, I don't care which one, why don't you tell us what Camp Barnabas is? What do you experience when you go there as a student from Schweitzer?
Okay. I would say Camp Barnabas is like a camp that you can go to, or special needs people can go to, and basically they get to do things that like they wouldn't get to do on an everyday basis, like in the real world. So they get to come for a week and be treated as like real human beings, and you get to be partnered with a camper, or you can be a barnstormer and just serve them and be their best friend for the week. So.
You just used two names. I think you know what that means, but I'm not sure hearers will know what that means. A camper and a barnstormer. What are those? Or missionary and barnstormer, yeah.
So if you're a missionary, you are one-on-one with a camper, and you just basically get to be their best friend for the week, like I said. And yeah, you're in the cabin with them doing all the activities that they want to do, just doing what they want to do the entire week. And then if you're a barnstormer, you're kind of in the behind the scenes work, and you're doing dishes, like cleaning cabins around camp. But you also get to have fun and like do some extra like fun things, and you get to hang out with the campers a little bit.
So Carter, why don't you talk about like what a day at Camp Barnabas is like? What's the timeline like?
So we'll start off, we'll go to breakfast in the morning, and then we would do two activities with our cabins. So we would go to, say we can make t-shirts, or the pool, lake. We would follow our campers around and help them and do stuff with them at those activities. And then we'd go to lunch, and we would do an extra activity later that day for like 2 hours. And there's many different things you could do for that. Like we would go to the lake, or just all different kinds of things. They would also get a rest time in the middle of the afternoon. So for an hour, it's called FOB. They would get to take naps and rest so they could have more energy to do stuff that night. And after dinner, we would usually have a party that night after showers. And there was all different themes. You could dress up for them. There was a space one, a carnival. It was super fun. And we'd go to bed around 9 and get ready for the next day.
9:00 sounds really early for like bedtime. But when you say there's activities, you both mentioned activities. Can you give us an idea what those activities are like? I mean, going to the lake is obviously one, but what are some of the other activities that take place there?
They have like a zip line, like a rock wall climbing thing. So obviously you're like harnessed in for safety, but they get to climb a rock wall. They have like levels where you can like take a break in between if you need. And then at the very top is the zip line all the way down to the bottom. I've done it. It's pretty fun. Campers like it a lot. And I mean, there's the pool, which is an activity. They have other ones. I can't think of them. Do you remember any of the other ones?
Let's see. They had a farm. You could pet animals too.
Right.
Okay. And then you mentioned at night they've got like parties every night. And you mentioned different themes. Did you have a favorite party theme, or do campers have a favorite party theme?
My camper really liked just like wandering or like checking all of the parties out. He really liked the carnival one though. He liked to go and check out all the different stations. Like they had a cotton candy station, they had a dunk tank. So it was really cool to explore. They had a mini golf right next to where the mini golf course right next to where the parties were. So we could go check that out too.
Do you guys have like one or two favorite memories from being at Camp Barnabas from this past year, or maybe another year that you went?
I would say last year I have one from this year, but last year, one of my favorite memories is we had a bowling team in our cabin. So like all of them, most cabins, like no camper really knows each other. Like we kind of get to know each other as the week goes on. But they were all best friends, all from the same place, all were on a bowling team together. So that was really special to like, they all knew each other, were best friends, were super sweet, just had a good time hanging out with each other, which was cool to see because I don't feel like you get to see that very often. I feel like it's just missionary camper. You don't really see camper to camper as much, or like when they're really close together. So that was really cool to see.
When you think about Camp Barnabas, when you think about the inclusion of folks from all kinds of different abilities, and what are some things you take away from that experience? Like you go down there to be a missionary or to be what's the other word? A barnstormer. So what are some things you take away from that experience? Like seeing all of that sense of blessing and inclusion. How does that impact you?
For me, I love seeing all the campers down there. Like no matter what their disability is, they have a smile on their face all the time, and they just they're just so joyous in everything that they're doing. And I think that like really impacts me and inspires me because even like through their hardship, through their trial, like they're smiling, having a good time, and just like being choosing to be happy through it all, which just really inspires me, and I find touching to like have a different view on life than everything is like instead of being negative about it, they're positive about it, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, they would get so happy with going to different activities they could normally do, and that made us pretty happy, you know.
Hmm.
Them getting to do stuff like going down tall water slides, like they may not be able to do that, you know, if it's just stairs getting up there. Just getting to spend time with other campers as well was really cool for them.
Do you guys look forward to going back?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you
Mhm.
plan on going back?
Yes.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Thanks so much for sharing about your experiences at Camp Barnabas, and really appreciate you coming in today and sharing those stories, those thoughts and reflections. Thank you, listeners, for joining us on this podcast of Beyond Sunday. As always, we look forward to seeing you on Sunday, and we look forward to hearing from you and seeing what's happening beyond Sunday.